True crime with the bad girl, the player, and dangerous Dave. Make it your Monday night go to fade. If it's true crime with the twist that you desperately crave, come check us out. To your friends you will rave. We're your favorite trio that covers true crime. Hang out with us Monday and have a great time. There's plenty of room, a seat we will save for true crime with the bad girl, the player, and dangerous Dave.
All right, what an intro. And good evening, everyone. I love that. Welcome to True Crime with the bad girl, the Playa, and dangerous Dave. I am Benny Scala, a.k.a. the Playa, a.k.a. Benny the Jet. And with me, as always, is the first lady of True Crime. She's the one and only Boston bad girl, Brittany Brown. Brittany, how are you this fine evening?
I am doing great, thank you. A lot of rain here, dark in the sky, but hey, could be a lot worse.
Always. Can always be a lot worse. And that other guy, he is the prince of pedicures and the titan of toes, the one and only dangerous Dave Starr.
Hey, hello, everybody. Like the Boston bad girl said, happy rainy Monday. I hope everybody's doing well and is blessed on this day. And we got a great podcast for you tonight. And the carnival, as he always says, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me me.
Amen. All right, let's do our commercials, and this is going to be a very, very, I believe, very interesting show. Let's go with Adam. True Crime with the Bad Girl, the Playa, and the Stars is brought to you by the Burbrower Law Firm. Folks, if you've been injured in a car accident, please reach out to our good friend Adam Burbrower at the Burbrower Law Firm. Adam and his crew do things the right way with great results. Not only is Adam a great attorney, but the dude has framed pictures of Ernie the Cat Lad, the unpredictable Johnny Rods, and our very own Boston bad girl in his office. How cool is that? If you see Adam at the community pool trying to nail that elusive triple Lindy, you'll notice superstar Billy Graham tattooed on his back and Bret the Hitman Hart tattooed on his chest. This guy is not only the man of the hour, the man with the legal power, too sweet to be sour, he is also the excellence of elocution. Besides being a great guy, Adam is a true crime aficionado and an avid WWF historian. Who else can get you a great settlement while breaking down Mario Mancini's greatest matches? Well, that one's a quickie. Check out Adam at burbrowerlaw.com and follow him on Facebook. And don't forget to tell him that the bad girl, the Playa, and the Stars sent you. True Crime with the Bad Girl, the Playa, and the Stars is brought to you by Uncle Dave's Sausage. Are you hungry? Hungry for something thick, juicy, and just a little bit naughty? Introducing Uncle Dave's Sausage, the only meat that knows exactly how to fill your buns. Whether you like it spicy, smoky, or just plain stuffed to the brim, Uncle Dave's got the girth, the girth of flavor you crave. Morning, evening, a quick nibble at 3 a.m. No shame, baby. Uncle Dave's Sausage is served 24/7 at the carnival, where the rides aren't the only things that go up and down. You might have been into fitness, but once you've had the Uncle Dave's experience, the only thing on your mind will be fitting this sausage in your mouth. Slide it between two warm buns, slather it in mayo, or give it a good squirt of mustard if you're feeling frisky. Don't be shy. You know you want it. Everyone's lining up to take a bite. Even Grandma said it was the best thing to ever slap her in the mouth because nothing slaps you in the mouth quite as hard as Uncle Dave's Sausage. So, folks, in the heat of the night or the light of the day, when your cravings for meat just won't go away, don't settle for Slim or some flimsy old link. Get Uncle Dave's Sausage. It's thicker than you think. Available now only at the carnival. Bring a friend or two. Uncle Dave's Sausage, the sausage you can't say no to. Guys, this will not be one of our typical shows. Our subject is not a murderer, but he has been a very polarizing figure for many years, and we decided he'd be a good subject. And I'm talking about Terry Gene Bollea, known to the world as Hulk Hogan. We're going to discuss a series of questions, and everyone in the chat, please feel free to weigh in. And before I do that, I want to flash up a comment from Mrs. P, which is my stamp.
Oh,
That is my stamp. That's all I needed.
that's it. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Mrs. P. From a true lover of music, thank you very much. So here we go. All right, we're going to ask a bunch of questions, and let's we'll all chat about them. Everybody in the chat room, please weigh in. We'll flash your comments up. So, would Hulk Hogan have achieved the fame that he did if Sylvester Stallone had not cast him as Thunderlips in Rocky III? So, if he wasn't in Rocky III, he obviously was already in wrestling. Would he have ascended to the level of fame? What do you guys think?
Dave, you go first.
Yes, I think he would have over time, because he was in other movies too. I think the movie just made his fame come sooner. But he was just in the right place at the right time with the right look. They were going into the pay-per-view era, HBO era, all that stuff. I think he would have achieved it. And I'll tell you what, if he had listened to, I have to give him this though. I have to give Hulk his due. If he had listened to Vince Sr., he never would have made that movie. But he told Vince Sr. to go pound sand. I'm making the movie. So, I have to give him credit because a lot of people in that position that was getting his push and making his money would have caved into the promoter, but he didn't. And then Vince got rid of him. Vince Sr. Got rid of him. But yeah, I think he would have eventually. Yeah, I think the answer to that, in my opinion, is yes.
What about you, Brittany?
Well, I think had he not done that movie, his shot to fame would not have made him nearly as much money and would not have been nearly as fast as it was. But I do think he would have still been Hulk Hogan. I don't think he would have made as much at the beginning and in the middle even. And I don't think he would have drawn as much. Eventually, yes. But at the beginning, I think that move was the right move, like Dave said.
And you got to remember too, he was on Johnny Carson, he was on Sports Illustrated, so he had other things, not just that movie that that went up to superstardom. But I think Brittany had a point there. Maybe he wouldn't have made so much money so soon.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm kind of on the fence because, on the one hand, you can't say that like he was hurt by Stallone casting him in that movie. I mean, it definitely didn't hurt his push and his career. But I mean, I do believe when I first saw him, I guess it would have been 79 in WWF. I mean, I had never seen anything like him before. I mean, for a guy that size to be that jacked. I mean, there were big guys like Ernie the Cat Ladd, and there was Blackjack Mulligan, big guys. But there was the guy was, carved out of stone. And, he couldn't wrestle worth a shit, and he really couldn't talk at that time. I think Blassie was his manager that went as a heel, I believe, if memory serves me correct. Anybody in the chat room, if I'm wrong, let me know. But, or was it the Grand Wizard? I think it was Blassie, right?
Blassie. It was Blassie. Yeah.
It was Blassie. Yeah. Okay. It's been a long time, but I think, and I think he was, and I think that might even be the next question. Let me see. Well, let's picture him as Thunderlips. All right. So yeah, this is kind of leads into this. Was Hulk Hogan at the right place at the right time in 1983? So, I'll lead off being I'm still talking, but I really think that Vince Jr. had a very specific mission. That he was going to conquer the wrestling world, and he was going to go national, and he needed somebody with an incredible look that could carry the ball. And I don't think Rocky III hurt him, but I do think, I think Vince Jr. always had it in the back of his mind that this is a very special guy. And with the right, with the right training and everything and the right marketing, that he could be this guy that would have, that could carry the ball. I mean, do you guys think in the absence of a Hulk Hogan, do you think anybody else could have done, beat the Iron Sheik and then just, had that rocket on his ass and carried the company for all those years?
I don't really think so. I mean, a second for me would have been Macho Man, but he didn't have. He had the look. He had the. He could use the stick. Oh God, could he? He could even work, but he didn't have the size. And I think what you just said, Benny, is right. Hogan was carved out of steel, concrete. He was exactly what Vince was looking for, Vince Jr. And like you said, Dave, he was in the right place at the right time. And boy, is this a perfect example of that.
Well, the thing is, too, like Vince had his eye on him. You got to remember the old man was in charge, not Vince
Right.
Jr., the old man. So I think Vince Jr. had his eye on him the whole time, but Vince Jr. had no say. So when Vince Sr. fired him, I think Vince Jr. had him on the radar the whole time. But he was, I mean, we got to go back to superstar Billy Graham, right? The blonde, muscle-bound, like take superstar Billy Graham and put him 10 years later. Superstar Billy Graham would have been doing the same thing Hulk Hogan did. I don't believe it would have been.
Yeah,
I don't think it would.
Well, I've always said Jesse Ventura and Hulk Hogan should have given half of their paychecks to superstar Billy Graham.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing is, the blonde has always been in wrestling. Buddy Rogers, Gorgeous George. The blonde has always been, in wrestling, and has been the champion. So I mean, superstar Billy Graham, which is personally one of my, this guy captivated. I was in high school now. You got to remember, I was in high school in the 70s. This guy just captivated my mind. Like he just took me over.
He was I loved it. We'd ever seen. Yeah. I mean, I
didn't care. Yeah, I didn't care if he was a heel. I didn't care.
I was a total babyface guy. The only heel I ever liked was Baron Mikel Cicluna back in the day. But when I saw Billy Graham, it's like, holy crap, this guy's incredible with, the tie-dyed shirts and the hair and just the way he spoke. And the body was like, looked like something out of a bodybuilding magazine.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe this. Do you know he actually, like, the WWE champion, WWF back then, the champion never, ever wrestled at Jack Ritchie Sports Arena. Do you know that I went to Jack Ritchie Sports Arena and superstar Billy Graham wrestled there twice. I saw him once. Wow. And I wasn't close to him, but I was close to him, but not close to him. It was like I was like in awe. And I don't know, when was he champion? What year? 78. I was like a junior.
77. He lost it in early 78.
Yeah, I was like a sophomore in high school. I was just in awe of this guy. Like so I mean, to put him, just Hogan was in the right place. He had the look, he had the blonde hair, he had the muscles, and he was just in the right place at the right time.
All right, we got a comment, and I want to get your guys' take on this. This is from Justin. He thinks Snuka or Dusty Rhodes. What do you guys think about that?
Snuka maybe because of the look, the gimmick, the work, but again, didn't have the size and didn't have that Hulk Hogan blonde, chiseled, tanned look. And I think what Dave was saying earlier is that's exactly what Vince was looking for, and he was on the radar for a long time.
And, Dusty Rhodes would have maybe for a little bit, but they wouldn't have achieved the commercial success that this guy did. Because look what he did when he was with Vern Gagne. Vern Gagne had him, And, you know, the houses were good. The houses were good, but they weren't out of the stratosphere like when he went with Vince Jr. and he got into that marketing machine. And then he
Right.
came up with the little Hulkamaniacs. Say your prayers, take your vitamins. Like, I don't think anybody else could have achieved the, money and the pay-per-views like this guy did.
Yeah.
You know, that's just my opinion. Like who Dusty Rhodes I like Dusty Rhodes. He captivated me too. Him and Graham when they had that feud. But I mean, to go on to that success, like when Vern had him, he wasn't saying take your prayers, and right when he was with Vern, say your prayers.
No, I mean they did coin the term Hulkamania, but he wasn't doing, the spiel.
Right. So Snooker was too much on drugs. He would have he missed shows, showed up for shows, missed shows. He couldn't have done anything. Dusty Rhodes maybe, but no one would have. I mean, who else could have took Hulk's place really? And I'm not a big Hulk Hogan fan. Like I'm not a big fan of his. I never was. Like I was Superstar Billy Graham, maybe because I was in the business, and maybe I was a mark. The Superstar back in the 70s, I was a mark, but I was never a big Hulk Hogan fan.
No, same here. Now, to Justin's comment, like Snooker, like you said, Dave, the guy, he might have been if his head was on straight, but between, all his drugs and all his steroids, he was way too mentally unbalanced and not dependable. And he had that other thing, the Nancy Argentino thing hanging over his head too. So I don't think he was even a thought. I think he might have made a great Intercontinental champion, maybe. And Dusty, I mean, Dusty was a 3-time NWA champion. I think his reigns combined were about 20 days. He was good for a short spurt, but like for a sprint, but not for a marathon. The guy I always thought of was Austin Idol. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, Austin Idol used to be Rick McCord.
Yes. And I mean, he had the look. He was very good on the mic. He was built very well. Not quite as big as Hulk, but I don't know. I still can't wrap my arms around anybody doing it like Hulk did.
I'm sorry. I have to. He was Mike McCord when he was up here in the 70s, and then when he left, when he left, he became Austin Idol.
He was in New York only for 1973, and he left in the winter because he's from Tampa. He did not like the cold weather, so he went back down to Florida. He called his shots. Like he was in Memphis about 4 or 5 times. I mean, he was great wherever he went, but he didn't like the cold weather. So I don't think the Northeast would have suited him. But I really don't think anybody. I think Hulk was the guy. Yeah, McCord was in the plane crash, I think, in 75, and he came back like about a year later as Austin Idol, and definitely transformed himself because as Mike McCord, I think he was about 300 pounds. He was a bulky guy.
Wow. Yeah, he was big when he was here. But I agree with the Women's World Champion. I think Macho Man might have carried it for a while because of, with Elizabeth and the whole... But he wouldn't have achieved the success that Hulk did, or Vince. Let's say Vince wouldn't have achieved the money or the pay-per-views and the success like he did with Hulk.
Now, how about Sergeant Slaughter? People have suggested him as a baby face. Do you think he could have done it?
No.
Great
guy. But
I mean, Vince McMahon became a billionaire with Hulk Hogan. He became a billionaire with Hulk Hogan. That's the bottom line. And Hulk Hogan made a lot of money, and all the boys made a lot of money, but Vince McMahon became a billionaire with Hulk Hogan.
I think it was true. Totally right place, right time, right era, right location, right everything. He just stepped in it. All right, what do we got next?
Yeah.
Well, that's him winning the title from Sheiky Baby. All right. So, did Hogan save Vince McMahon's ass with his role in the steroids trial?
Go ahead, bad girl.
Oh, yes. I 1,000% say yes. Definitely. And I think that gave him a job for life. Just my opinion.
Okay.
Absolutely 1,000,000%. Absolutely. Everybody thought Vince McMahon was going to go down because they had Hulk Hogan was going to get on there. And let's face it, Hulk Hogan lied. He lied to save Vince McMahon because there was steroids and he did steroids. So he lied to save Vince McMahon. And
and de facto to save himself, because if the company crumbles, so does his his gravy train.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean that Vince is he's a slippery eel, that one. I'll tell you.
He is pure Teflon, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a slippery eel, but
everything, nothing sticks.
100%. Yeah, 100% that Hogan saved his ass. Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. To me, like all the steroids, like Hogan said, when he wanted the steroids, he would call whatever, I can't think of her name now, Vince's executive secretary, right?
Uh-huh.
And he picked them up at the office along with his paycheck and his fan mail. So, I mean, and I'm sure everybody was doing that. So how are you not distributing steroids? And he said, well, Vince McMahon told me, he never told me that, I needed to be on steroids. But like, I mean, all those guys were, even Roddy Piper was jacked up by then in the late 80s. Like he was very like not muscular, when he was in Mid-Atlantic, he was a string bean. I mean, he jacked up. I mean, Snuka, all those guys.
They sure did.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That was one of the first things that Killer Kowalski said when he joined his school. If I ever fucking catch you doing steroids, you're done. I'll fire you. He was totally. Walter was a good guy. Walter was very. And we went out to lunch.
He was morally correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went out to lunch, me and the bad girl and the great Mel Simons over the weekend, reminiscing a lot. But Walter was a good guy. Like he from the start, he told you no steroids. He didn't want you blading. I think he was very protective of his students, maybe sometimes overprotective. But that's one thing he was totally against was the steroids.
Yep.
And he made it known to you.
Yeah.
And he made it known to you too.
I got to think, even though somebody didn't directly say, well, you need to do steroids. I mean, how obvious was it, that everybody who was jacked up got a push? I mean, did you see Mario Mancini getting a push? Hell no.
Nope.
Well, it was just, listen, Walter had a lot of good talent. I was a good talent. Brian Walsh was a good talent. The Pink Assassin was a good talent. He had a lot of good talent, but at that time, in 84, 85, you know what? It's not like it is today where you see a lot of guys that are small or even short. Like, who's the guy that says everybody puts their hands up in the air? He's married to one of the Bellas there.
Oh, Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
He's a small little puke. Back in 84, 85, Daniel Bryan would have never made it because
That's right.
all the big guys. He wanted all the big guys. And if you were medium size and you made it, it's because you had an old man in the business. You were second or third generation wrestler. And
so true.
Yeah, and it's not like it is today where if half of Walter's guys, if you put us in our youth in today, would be on TV and making money because we had talent, but we just didn't have the size, and then we didn't do the steroids. But I mean, we did pretty good. We wrestled, we did pretty good.
But you go to an indie show nowadays, you see guys weighing 140 pounds. To me, like when I watch a wrestling match, I don't want to think that I could go in there and take the guy. I mean, like,
right.
I need to think that, man, that guy looks tough.
Exactly.
Right. Like, Daniel Bryan. Like, I went to a show not too long ago at the Garden with my daughter and her fiance. They took me, and we were 5 rows from ringside, And what I took away from the show was I couldn't believe how small a lot of these guys were.
Right.
And it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying how small they were. Like Roman, not Roman Reigns. Who's the other guy? That's married to the women's champion there.
Oh, I know who you mean. The skinny dockhead guy that's married to the man. They call her the man, right?
Oh,
can't
Seth
think of his
Rollins.
name.
Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, yes, Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Like he's not big guy at all. A lot of these guys weren't big.
No.
Like and I'm standing there thinking, I didn't go. I mean, they bought me a ticket to go. I didn't want to go because, it is what it is. But I went, and I was more of an observant. I'm like, it's just like, and it's good. It's good that they, But I was like, wow, why couldn't it be like this back when we were all breaking in?
Well, all I know is the wrestling that I grew up with. I mean, I didn't really get to watch Bill Watts Mid-South when I was a kid. I got to watch it later on, but my understanding is if you went into a bar and you got your ass kicked, you also lost your job with Bill Watts.
Yeah.
He wanted his wrestlers to, what you saw on TV, you had to be able to carry out if the need came to it.
Yep.
Right.
And that's the way I want to think that these guys can kick my ass. That's like part of the reality of it. I don't want to, like, if I saw Rey Mysterio at the food court, it's like, I don't sweat you,
Exactly.
You're going to do what, a 609 at Sabaro's and, kick me in the head? Like, is Sabaro still in business? I'm probably dating myself.
Think so. No, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want my wrestlers tough looking. But I have to say, Dave, from what you've told me though, that promotion back in the early to mid 80s, Killers promotion, it'd probably be like at this point a good developmental league for the WWF. It was like that caliber of talent.
Yep.
That's a good point. I never thought about that, but that's an excellent point. And you're absolutely right. Like they would have been siphoning talent. Walter would have had an agreement with them, and they would have been taking talent from Walter. And the bad girl knows. She knows. We reminisced over the weekend down with Mel down at the Chinese restaurant, and a lot of these guys had talent, even though they were big. But we had talent. It's just that we came along at the wrong time when, you had to be on steroids and like the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior sucked.
Well, the other thing too is with Vince McMahon, pretty much putting all the territories out of business. Instead of 30 territories, now you really had like 2 or 3. So obviously, like the number of jobs, to where you can make a living as a professional wrestler significantly decreased. So that didn't help either.
Right.
No,
right.
And you know what? Unless you wanted to, I hate to say this, but it's the truth. I speak to, like I told you before the show, I speak the truth. Unless you wanted to engage in some sexual misconduct with some people there, I won't mention their names, but we all know who they are that was working had the power for Vince. You weren't going to make it,
That's right.
Yeah. Yep. No, I totally agree. All right. What do we got next here? All right. And you guys could probably talk to this a lot better than I could. Did Hulk Hogan put himself above professional wrestling? Did he hold others down?
Well, I've heard 2 completely different thoughts on this from very legitimate people who worked with him, who worked in the same federation as him, who worked against him even. One person told me 100% he did put himself above professional wrestling and he did hold others down. One person said that to me. Another person, just as legit as the person that said this, said absolutely not. It's because of him that we made more money. It's because of him that the sport became what it became. So I owe what I make to Hulk Hogan.
I've heard a lot of that.
So who do you go with? Whose side do you take?
I believe, some of these guys here, they weren't making anything until, Vince took off. These guys are making a lot of money because of Hogan and Vince. Jake the Snake Roberts, Greg Valentine. These guys
Yep.
were making like Big John Studd. These guys were making like $30,000 a week, maybe more. And they'll tell you about it. They'll tell you.
That's incredible.
They made a lot of money because of Hulk Hogan. And hey, it's like anything else. If you're in the workplace, someone your boss don't like you, he ain't going to help you. If he likes you, he'll help you. So it's no different in wrestling. If Hulk liked you, he's going to help you. Look what he did for Brutus the Barber Beefcake. He was nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Hogan got him in there. And then the guy's making all this money, but Hogan helped him. So
right. Yeah, I think Brutus definitely owes his career to Hulk.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
At least he had a good gimmick as the Bobber, and at least he could work. Unlike
he could. I liked him. He was all right,
Yeah. I have to say that though. He may not have liked that Bobber gimmick at the beginning, but it's definitely what got him over, and he did it very well. And he knew how to work, and he knew how to talk too. So,
Yeah.
Right.
but yeah, being his best friend didn't hurt him.
Yep. I've heard both as well. Like you listen to Bret Hart, but Bret Hart pretty much he trashes a lot of people. But he said that I guess Hogan had promised him initially that he would put Bret over clean, but then he said, what did he say? That doesn't work for me, brother. I tell you what, I would have a hard time visualizing Bret Hart beating Hulk Hogan clean anyway. You know what I mean? Like a Hulk in his prime. I could see Warrior, and I could see Macho Man. I don't know that I could have seen Bret Hart. Maybe I'm wrong, but on the flip side, though, you do. Like I've seen a bunch of interviews with Honky Tonk Man, and he said that I guess at the time back in the 80s that the WWF had A cards, B cards, and C cards, and Hogan always wrestled on the A card. And if you were on the A card with Hogan, not even necessarily wrestling him, but on that A card, you made way more money than you did on the B or the C card.
Oh, yeah.
Take a look at Vern Gagne. All these guys that were working for Vern for friggin' years, they weren't making any money. Vern was taking all the money. I read the book, Bobby Heenan's book that I gave to Mel, Bad Girl. He talked about this in his book. They weren't making any money. He took all the money. These guys went from there, Gene Okerlund, they all went to Vince. They made more money than they would made in 2 years that they made in 20 years with Vern Gagne.
Oh, these guys a mass migration. Jesse Ventura, Gene Okerlund, Hulk. Who else? You name it. They all came to Heenan, Bobby Heenan.
Yeah.
They all came over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even David Stokes, Dr. D. Even though he got fired, but
yeah,
dope.
But Vince would say what you want about Vince, but he did pay people. Whereas I do think that Vern, we've had that debate before. Like, was Vern Gagne, did he make a mistake by not putting the belt on Hulk? And I will always say yes, because I think that, while I think eventually McMahon would have, bought him off, I think it would have kept the AWA going for a little while longer.
I agree. 100%.
The minute Hulk left, they were circling the drain.
Yep, that was it.
Well, yeah, because Vern lived in the past. He didn't want to give Hulk the belt. He trusted Nick Bockwinkel. He didn't want to give Hulk the belt because then he'd have to actually pay Hulk some good money. And Vern just didn't want to pay nobody. So he kept the belt with Nick Bockwinkel because he trusted Bockwinkel, and he didn't have to pay him a lot of money. It was all about money with Vern.
And then Larry Zbyszko, because Larry was his son-in-law.
Yep.
Right, but by that time that place was done. It was over.
Yeah, totally.
It was over.
When you have Otto Wands as your champion, that's then you're circling the drain. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. Right. That was done. He was done by then.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do we got? What else we got? Oh, all right. Did Hogan take the high road when his son Nick injured John Graziano?
Bad girl.
Go ahead, Dave.
I think Hulk Hogan was a total scumbag when this happened. He blamed it and it's on audio, and it's John Graziano was a war veteran. He was a veteran. I forget which branch he was in for the United States. And I called Hulk Hogan, to his son Nick. Well, he deserved it anyways for what he did overseas of killing people. And I thought that was disgusting. That's why I tell you something. I'm not the greatest father in the world, but I'll tell you what, and I still do today. I tell my kids when they're wrong, and they're wrong, they're wrong. And the problem with Nick Hogan is no one's ever told him he's wrong. That's why he's all fucked up, and he can't make good decisions for himself. He just can't make good decisions for himself. And to say what he did, Hogan, and my daughter's a veteran of the Navy. I just don't have any respect for the guy.
Say that again, Dave. I didn't quite catch that. What did he say about Graziano?
He said, and it's on video, it's on record. They played an audio, TMZ. He said that he probably had it coming to him anyway for all the people he killed overseas to his son Nick.
Yeah, that's a jackass move, in my opinion.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. And I think I don't even know if John is still alive today or he's still.
Yeah, I did check. John is still alive. He's still. Yeah. I mean, he'll never be a functioning adult. I believe he still has 24-hour care. I think he's in his mid-40s, I believe. Oh. But yeah, no, he's still alive. I can't say alive and well. He is alive though.
Yeah, right. How sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hulk should have just sacked up and said, "Look, man, to the Graziano family, whatever you guys need, you just tell me and you'll have it. And I can't tell you how sorry I am."
Yeah, I agree. Right. That getting that on tape really, really made him look awful.
Yeah.
And to teach his son his son was still underage, I believe, at that time. I think he was maybe around 17-ish or something.
I believe you are right, bad girl.
Yeah. And you're still teaching your son, and that's what you're teaching your son.
You're teaching him not to take any accountability for his own actions. I mean, what kind of favor are you doing him?
None. And you know what? Maybe now the kid is finally grown up. I don't know. But I know he went on and made several more mistakes, DUIs, accidents, made poor decisions and things. And, I don't know if being married to a porn star is exactly a great decision either. But, to each his own.
Yeah. That's how you like. Well, I can just picture my son bringing a porn star home. That's beautiful. That's just great.
How is that okay?
Let's have Thanksgiving. You want some turkey and gravy, you little slut bag?
Well, she'll bring the crabs, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah. Well, I'm going to be nice here tonight. The carnival's going to try to be nice. We don't want to talk about the CH, you know how you go clamming in the summertime. So
we know.
I used to like clamming though. I mean,
that was fun. I know.
Yeah, my next door neighbor had a boat, and we'd go out in Long Island Sound, and the water was maybe about 3 feet high, and you'd kind of go out there, and you stick your feet down there and try to find clams.
Yeah, we go clamming and coal hogging. I did that for years.
Yep. There you go.
There's good clams. You gotta watch out though, Dave, right? I mean, there's some good clams and there's some bad clams out there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
very bad clams.
Some clams don't taste as good as the other ones. So you gotta watch out.
Some of them are you can get sick by.
Some of them got a lot of sand, some of them don't,
Some of them come with crabs, some of them don't.
Yeah, clams with crabs. You got to watch those. Those are the worst kind. Jeez.
Right.
Yeah. some of them you just can't stick in butter. You know,
All you guys
Yep.
out there, this is great. A great public service announcement. Watch them clams. You never know what
absolutely.
you never know what you're going to get.
Use some cornmeal on them.
There you go. That's some great advice. I like that. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. So is Hulk Hogan a racist? We he's been recorded several times. He was actually, I guess, at one point removed from the WWE Hall of Fame, I believe, and then reinstated.
Mhm.
So, I mean, do you think he was or is or?
I think he was. I think they got the proof that he was.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know, was or is. I don't know how to answer that one. Well, he's dead, so I guess you don't use the N-word unless that's how you feel, right? I mean, unless
Right.
that's how you feel, you don't use that word, especially when you're being taped. I mean, his morals weren't very good, as you can see by making love to another man's clam or another man's
Yeah,
wife.
we're going to get to that in a second. That one I can't believe, but and especially knowing that you're Hulk Hogan, everything that you say is going to be recorded and reported. What are you thinking even if you do feel that way? Why are you saying it?
I know. Use a
Right.
little common sense, just a little.
Yeah. But I mean, the fact that knowing that if he's got half a brain and saying it anyway, it leads me to believe he probably did feel that way.
I would say so, because let's face it, we don't think that he knew he was being tape recorded. But like you
Right.
just said, Benny, everything you have to know that you're that big, that
Right.
it's going to come out somehow, some way. And it did.
I mean, if I was tape recorded 24/7, you'd never hear anything. I mean, you'd hear some weird stuff, mostly like really funny, but you'd never hear anything like that.
Right.
Is a racist always a racist, or can a racist be, can he be rehabilitated? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, there's certain things like a pedophile, you can never walk that back, in my opinion. Once you cross that line, and we've talked about that before, you're never. That's once you're a pedophile, you are a pedophile for life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Racist. I would say yes. I mean, how do you really change your thinking as far as that goes?
No.
It's something that's gotta. I mean, I would guarantee it's something he grew up with.
I'm sure.
I'm the exact opposite. My parents were the polar opposite, and thank God. I mean, I have so many things to thank my parents for, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah,
I went to Brockton High School. There were a lot of black people there. I had a lot of black friends. They were all welcomed at the house. I'm not perfect, but I'm not a racist.
No,
I get
with one exception, all of my friends were either Jewish or black growing up. So yeah. All right, what do we got? I think that this might be the $1 million one. Here we go. What's your opinion of the Gawker incident?
The Gawker incident. Well,
Who goes first?
good.
it made him a lot more money. I can't believe he did it. You have no morals. How dare you? I mean, there's so much that I want to say about it that I could go on for an hour. So I'm just going to stop and say I thought it was disgusting. I thought it was gross that he made all that money from it, because it was quite a bit. I felt horrible for his wife. And I think Bubba and Bubba's wife are weird. That's all I have to say.
Dave?
Well, I mean, did he know he was being filmed when he did this? He was secretly filmed, right? So, I mean, the guy didn't have listen, look what we've talked about with him. He's said the N-word. He just refused. This is what really irritates me about this guy. He just refused to the day he died, as far as I know, of admitting being a steroid abuser. Maybe at least superstar Billy Graham came out and said, yes, I did steroids. At least he finally admitted it. He did steroids. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think Hulk ever admitted to being a steroid person. And then, the stuff with his son, and then this video, like the guy just didn't have any like moral compass, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Have some type of moral compass. Like at this age, why are you sleeping with somebody's wife clam or whatever she was, clam or wife or whatever you want to call her? Like, why are you sleeping with, at this age, being the guy you are? Why, like when you're having sex with this woman, like I would be paranoid, like somebody's filming me. I would. That's just how I would be. Like, is somebody filming me? What's good? Like, just the guy had no moral compass. I mean, I know that's saying a lot coming from me, the carnival. I get it. But there's one thing I've never done in my life, and this is the God's honest truth, is I put my hand up. I had one rule, and I made love to a lot of women back in the day when I had my long hair, but I always had one rule. I'm not fucking with anybody's wife. I'm not putting myself in that position that I'm going to have some crazy fucker coming after me.
Right.
And I never did. To this day, I never did.
Well, from my friend Cassie, should it really make a difference whether he knew he was being recorded or not? Now, here's my take on this. And maybe this is bizarre. I think the whole thing was a work. I think not only did he know that he was being recorded, but I think that he was in on it with Bubba because he knew that it would be like a perfect lawsuit. I mean, I wouldn't put it past the guy. I mean, how did this recording somehow, how did it find its way to Gawker? I guess that's my first question.
I thought it was sold by Bubba.
But then Bubba was supposedly his best friend. I mean, now let me tell you, exactly. I moved down here to Florida in 2001. I was here about a week, and I stumbled upon this Bubba the Love Show, a Sponge show, and I liked it. The reason why I liked it, not so much that I liked him, although some of the bits on it were hysterical, but you had guys like Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, Edge were calling in like on a weekly basis, and Hogan was calling in like probably 3 times a week. These guys were really, really tight. I just wouldn't put it past the two of them to have concocted this whole thing, and because it's a huge paycheck. You can't tell me that Hogan didn't know something was going to happen. Of all this, I will always believe that he knew. Number one, he knew he was being recorded, and I agree with Cassie. And I agree with you, Dave. Right? Yeah. Recorded or not recorded, it's wrong.
Absolutely.
Even if the other guy is offering it up to you, nothing good is ever going to come of it, because the Bubba, I'm sure, and his wife, I think her name was Heather. I bet to this day they still feel crappy about that, and I don't know how Hogan feels. We don't know anymore, but I really think that whole thing was a work, and it was planned to make money. And I think he went up settling for $31 million.
Did he really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn. He was awarded $115 million. Yeah, only in America can you can screw somebody's wife and make $31 million, right?
I know.
Yeah, but didn't he have to sue for that? Like.
No, he had to sue. Yeah. He sued, and they awarded him. I think he sued for $15 million or $85 million. They awarded him like $115, but Gawker was circling the drain financially, and they wound up settling. But still, to $31 million, and that's the other reason why I think it happened, was because this was after his divorce with Linda, I believe, and she took him for a ride, not the nice way either. And he lost a good bit of his wealth. So he was no longer a wealthy guy anymore.
Right.
And
Well,
this definitely helped him.
Yeah.
well, yeah, they had to cancel Hogan Knows Best because him and his wife, I mean, she must have been crazy. When you listen to the producers of the show, they had to cancel it because, not because everybody was making money, everybody was watching, but they had so many screaming matches and they would be drinking it. They just had to just end the production of the show, Hogan Knows Best,
Right.
which is a
Wow.
shame.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Booker T doesn't think Hulk is a racist and pointed out that everyone has said something racist in their lives. Yeah, maybe. But first of all, I would, anything that Booker T says, I would never give it like one iota of credence. I'm
Right.
I mean, good
I agree.
wrestler, but I don't think he's the sharpest knife in the drawer. Sorry, Booker.
Right. Right.
Right. $31 million he made. Jesus.
Right?
I mean, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
Only in America, right?
Man.
Only in America.
How do you profit? You know, but by the same token, if allegedly, if Hulk was or Bubba was the one that breached his privacy, why didn't he sue Bubba as well?
Exactly. Well, apparently, from what I understand, it was never proven or admitted who sold or gave that video to Gawker. Obviously, they paid for it.
Well, it had it was recorded at Bubba's house, so somehow it got to Gawker, and to me it was it was a very
pretty
short
easy to figure out.
Right. I think it's pretty easy to figure out. And like I said, and Hogan is a very vain guy. I'm sure now I could be a porno star and I'll sue and I'll get paid for it. And I mean, he made more in one movie than John Holmes made in how many years of doing porn.
So this was made at Bubba's, at his house?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Hulk actually went to the house.
Hulk went to Bubba's house, which he'd gone there many, many times, and I don't know.
There was
some. To me, like what are you just going to randomly say? Hey, by the way, do you want to have sex with my wife? This had to be something that they talked about forever, and they planned this out. Again, I could be totally wrong, and if somebody proves me wrong, I'll say I'm sorry. But I just think this is planned out. Bubba just happened to record it. It just happened to find its way to the tabloids, and Hulk just happened to sue. And
you're right. You're right, because you know what? If I was going to bang somebody's wife, I ain't going to their house. You know what? I'm going to go get a hotel. I'll get a hotel room and bang. I'm not going to go to your house and bang you. But I think you're right, Player. I think it was all a work.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you really want, if you really lust after somebody's wife, I mean, you're going to do it. I mean, how much disrespect is that to do it right in the guy's house? Number one, be discreet. Go, rent a hotel room. Not that it makes it any more right, but at least you have a little discretion.
No, but I get what you're saying. Yeah,
and I plead ignorance on this. What did the wife look like? I don't even know what his wife looked like.
Heather Clem, I remember her from back in the day. She was very, very attractive.
Well,
but
she didn't look as good, in my opinion. At that time, she looked nowhere near as good as his wife. But sometimes when people get along as bad as we've heard they got along, your looks don't matter anymore.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean,
I'm not using that as an excuse.
Right.
Because there is no excuse for you to cheat on your wife with your best friend's wife. I mean, there's just no excuse for any of that on either side.
Yeah.
But,
that's. I think we all agree, no matter what, it was wrong. But he got rewarded for it somehow. So go figure.
Sure did.
I think this may be the last one. How did Hulk Hogan really die?
To me, very controversial.
So what was the official cause? This one I didn't really research too much.
Heart attack was the official cause.
Okay.
but
there had
I
been
don't believe
rumors
it.
that he was sick before that.
I can't believe he lasted as long as he did with all the steroids he did. I can't believe he lasted as long as he did.
I think
I
he
mean,
was
look at all,
71, right?
yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Look at all the boys that did steroids that are dead. Davy Boy Smith. I mean, just who comes to the top of your
Well,
mind?
Benoit, Eddie, Kurt Hennig, you name them all. Didn't
Yep.
even make it to 50.
Tap.
I mean,
Warrior's heart blew up, and he was like 53.
Yep.
so
Yeah, he
I mean,
did.
just try to blame it on the hospital. I don't know. I don't agree with that. I mean, didn't he had heart procedures before that too, right? He didn't he just come out of the hospital with a heart procedure before he went back in?
I'm not sure. I
believe that is correct. And I believe that is the controversy. I believe it's did they or did they not screw something up? Because from what I understand, he never had a heart attack before. So what caused a heart attack when he's just getting out of the hospital, fully expected to recover? How does this man have a heart attack?
But didn't they replace a valve or something in his heart? Like, didn't they do heart procedures before?
I think there was a couple of them, but every one of the procedures he had done none were like life-threatening. I suppose every procedure is life-threatening, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like expected, you're expected to recover. You'll be fine in 6 weeks. You'll be fine in 4 weeks, whatever it is. There's no way this guy ever thought that he was going to go in that hospital and come home and die, because he just started several business ventures, couple of big ones, and that he was really looking forward to. And I mean, there's no way that he expected to die. So
right.
I think they screwed something up. That's my opinion. I think they screwed something up.
I thought they told him in the hospital that he only had a few days to live, and he said, I wanted to die at home, and they took him home to die.
That was supposedly a lie.
Well, Bubba had been saying, because I guess, they quote unquote reconciled that he said Hogan's been sick. And, within a couple of weeks after that, hang on. And this is Dan, my old partner, Dan, had a couple of very good points here. Hogan, Peter Thiel did fund that lawsuit to take down Gawker. I do remember that now. Thank you, Dan, for that. Thank you for reminding me of that. And but again, though, like Hogan brought the ammo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Who is Peter Thiel?
Peter Thiel is Dan could probably answer a whole lot better than me. I think Peter Thiel was a very, very rich conservative, and he had it in for Gawker. He did. He majorly funded the lawsuit because he did want to take down Gawker, and which he did. And then Dan has another point here too, that major neck fusion surgery.
Yep.
Peter Thiel was the co-founder of PayPal. Thank you, Dan.
Oh, thank you.
Partner Dan to the rescue. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. Yes. So good, very good point. And I like the way that was worded. A nick could have caused all kinds. That's exactly my point. I think there was a nick, and I don't mean Nick Hogan. I think there was a nick. I think they screwed something up. I think they cut something they shouldn't have, and I think they caused his heart attack and caused him to die.
Yeah, because
my opinion
I do not recall him ever having any kind of heart issues. I mean, he had a lot of surgeries, like back, like typical wrestlers, back, shoulders, knees, things like that, hips, whatever. But I do not remember him ever having a heart issue.
I thought he had a heart procedure before, but I mean, look at Joan Rivers. She went in for what?
I know. Cosmetic brain surgery.
She never made it out, So I mean, when you get to be that age,
Well, she was ancient though. How old was Joan Rivers?
She had
to be in her late 80s, I would think.
I was thinking right around 80, but I don't know. I know I just saw her just a few weeks before she died, and she looked fabulous. I'll tell you that. I was in the front row. She looked great.
She was, but she to me she looked unrecognizable. She did look very good,
Well,
but she didn't
yeah.
look like the Joan Rivers from the 60s.
No, I
Where did you
totally
see
agree.
her? Where'd you see it, bad girl?
I bought Cookie tickets for her birthday because she always wanted to see her, and she did an outdoor show in Newport, Rhode Island. So we went there, and boy, what a heart, it was a great place if the weather was 65 or 70, but it happened to be like 98 that day. And it was under a huge tent right on the water, no breeze. Everybody was dying, but it was one of the best shows I ever saw. Literally.
Yeah.
Excellent show.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
she's one of my favorite comedians. I thought she was hysterical.
Yeah, me too.
I
That was probably the
did
fourth
like
time or fifth time I saw her.
My favorite
But I
female
just-
comedian was Moms Mabley. You guys remember Moms Mabley?
Oh yeah, Mom
do,
Mabley, the
when I was
black,
real
black
little.
lady. Yeah, yeah. Mom Mabley.
Mabley, I think, was the oldest woman ever to be on the charts.
Really?
Yes, Moms Mabley in 1969, I believe, did a version of Abraham, Martin, and John, and it actually made Billboard. I don't know how high it did crack the top 100. It wasn't like a big hit or anything like that, but it sold some records, and she sang pretty much the same way she talked too.
Yeah.
Look, now I'm gonna want to hear that tonight.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I love the song, and I mean that she doesn't do a horrible job on it. I mean, yeah, it's worth checking out.
Yeah, she was good.
So what do you guys think? Do you think does anyone feel the same way I do? What do you think? How do you think he really died?
I just think he had a lot of medical problems. I could have sworn he had a problem. I thought they told him in the hospital, you're going to die, and he wanted to go home to die. That's what I thought.
I heard that was a rumor. I heard that was a planted rumor, like deliberate, that the press got that information.
I really think Dan is onto something, because I mean he did have numerous health issues, but I think they were all related to his injuries, from wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I mean, I have a horrible back, but I will never, ever, ever have back surgery. I'll do anything because my father-in-law was a very vibrant guy. When he was 81, he had back surgery, and he just plummeted after that. And he was never the same person. He was actually still substitute teaching at a high school at 81. And he was done after that. So no.
That's so sad.
I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until I keel over.
Yeah.
All right. We got one more thing. And Dan, if you're still here, I want your take on this one as well. All right. How in the hell did this guy get off? And not in the way that we would like to get off.
I don't know. I would love to know.
I don't know how didn't he steal $500,000 in COVID money?
More. I think more.
I really, again, I apologize for not doing all the research that I normally would have done. But I just, when I was absolutely positive this guy was going to get convicted in due time. And I believe his brother fessed up to something. And initially I thought his father was involved.
That's what I was led to believe, that it was the three of them. Yeah.
Right.
And I thought they had all the proof they needed. And that's why the case went forward. So,
well, I know it was supposed to go.
Everybody has a price, right?
Well, didn't the trial start and then they postponed it?
Yes.
Right? They all went to court. The trial was going to start. Just before the trial started, they postponed it. That's the last I knew. But
yeah. No, he was acquitted on all counts.
Yep. Now he's been acquitted.
Wow. Unless they pay the money back, I don't know. I don't know how you get off when you get caught stealing COVID money, and then I don't know how you get off.
For the government to bring a case against you, you know that they got to have. I mean, look at they with Vince McMahon. They before they bring you to trial, I think they're like 99.999% sure you're going to be convicted, and I think their conviction rate is probably very close to that.
Yep.
So for him to have skated, I don't know. Dan said he has money. I mean, it sure doesn't hurt, because I think if any one of us did it, we're in the clink.
Right. So, like I said, the last I knew, they were going to trial and it was postponed. And then that's the last I knew till I heard he got off. Like, nobody's saying nothing. I don't know if the records are sealed or what, but nobody's saying nothing unless they paid the money back. That's the only way I know. How else are you not going to get, go to trial unless you pay the money back? I don't know. Made a plea deal or something.
Corrupt.
Yeah.
Think of Canton, Mass. Mass.
Yeah.
Yeah, his defense was he didn't know the contracts were fraudulent and they didn't do a good enough job that he was in on it. So yeah, I guess you still got to convince the jury, but
well, they convinced the grand jury.
Like
they
I said,
brought the charges.
When you're indicted, I mean, I don't know what the conviction rate is. I gotta believe it's 99%. So you're odds are 99-1 you're going to jail, but somehow he beat it. I mean, and I do believe, and just my opinion, that his father had something to do with it. And shame on him, because he's either he's a minister or he runs a ministry, right?
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, there you go. Archie's a minister. Archie has no controversy, does he?
Well, there's a little bit of controversy
with
him. He's a little controversial. He's very bossy, very, very bossy.
But he's upstanding, isn't he?
Yeah, but see, it's a work. He works everybody, including me.
Oh, he's a worker. I didn't know that. Archie's a worker.
He pretends to go to the he pretends that he has to go to the bathroom real bad. Goes outside, does absolutely nothing, and then gets a treat. He works me. He's worked the entire town. They think he's the most wonderful dog in the world. And he comes in here and he paces at night until I finally go up to bed. I can't sit on the couch and watch TV because he wants me to go to bed. And he'll pace in front of it back and forth until I finally go, all right, I'll go.
Wait a minute. So what's the logistics? So you want to watch TV? You're like in the living room?
Yep.
All right. But he's by your bedroom?
No, he is pacing in front of me and saying, I want you to go to bed upstairs. And he won't stop pacing until I say, okay, let's go. So he gets his way all the time. All the time.
I mean, if you had like a battle of wills, how long do you think he'd keep doing it? Like forever?
I don't think it'd stop until he got his way. He doesn't stop at night. We've done it for 4 hours. Now I just give up after like 25 minutes. No.
Cassie, no, Archie's not a husky. What is he officially, Brittany?
Well, he's 43% beagle, and then he's got some boxer and a little bit of pit bull.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this, though. The mayor has morals. He doesn't go around sleeping with other dogs in the neighborhood that are married or have girlfriends,
That's true. He doesn't sleep with anybody. You're right.
Yeah.
He doesn't. But he did go after a young female once, and I was very embarrassed. It's the only time he's ever done this in the 10 plus years I've had him. He went after a very young puppy out there, and I was very embarrassed.
As far as attacking him or sexually?
Yeah, sexually.
Oh boy.
Sexually.
Okay. Well, he's got needs,
There you go.
Well, once in 10 and a half years, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
But all in all, I mean, it sounds like Archie's he's a good egg. I mean, he's
Archibald Paddington.
He just he needs his rest at night, right? I mean,
yeah, but you know what? I'll decide when I want to go to bed.
Right.
Well, that's how I went into the whole thing. But I guess not.
He definitely changed that metric there.
So So don't fall for all these ministers is
And
my
then
point.
I can't believe he's palming treats off you too. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Yep, does absolutely nothing out there. Wind, snow, rain, it doesn't matter. He'll go outside and do nothing and come in and wait for his treat.
And how long does he go outside? Like just for like
6, 7, 8 minutes.
Oh, so he does. Okay, so he puts the work in. It's not like he goes out there for 10 seconds. He actually, he puts a little bit of time in.
Oh yeah, walks up and down the street and does absolutely nothing just to get a
Right.
treat.
Now, will he do that again, like fairly quickly after that, or?
Oh yeah, yeah. If he's hungry, he will. Yep.
Okay. Well,
Total worker.
He ain't no dope. Put it down. He sounds like a very smart dog.
That's right. Smart, but a worker.
Yeah. All right. Okay, let's call it a night. Thank you so much for everybody for being here. Your comments. Dan, Cassie, Jason, who else we got there? Justin, Lawrence, all the way from Australia. Thank you for being with us. Mrs. P, who gave us the mark of approval on our new song. Thank you, Mrs. P. We definitely appreciate it.
All the boys are at the Boston Garden tonight. Raw is in Boston tonight.
Really?
Ooh, all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Well, everybody have a good night, and we will see you next crime.
Next crime. Bye. Thank you, everyone. Good night, Mrs. P.
Good night,
Good night,
all.
Jason.
Good night, Mrs. P. See you on
Justin,
Sunday.
Cassie,
Have a good-
everyone.
Have a good week, everybody. God bless.